Josh Rayner, you are one of the UK's leading estate agency property recruitment agents. You've got a network of people all over the country. I want to find out a bit more about you and what makes you tick. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Talk to me.
So I've been in property recruitment now for the last 13 years. Again, I'm 31, but going very, very on the side.
Okay.
I'm a normal person, so from my point of view, I've got some really good morals, and I wanted to build the biggest property recruitment firm in the UK.
Okay, well let's go back, because knowing what's happened in the past, we can see where you're going in the future. I'm a big fan of that. So, Josh, when did you get into property?
So I left school at 18 after sixth form.
Okay.
I actually went to work for a local estate agent as a lettings negotiator.
Okay, what made you want to go and work for a letting agent?
Again, I just really like the point that I was speaking to people, and I think that's something that's always come through. Mum and Dad said I had a bit of a silver tongue and a gift of the gab, so I got pushed in that direction because I had no other qualification.
Did you particularly want to be an agent at that point, or was it just a case of you're 18 years old, let's go and get a job?
I think it was the best sort of 18 and need a job, to be honest with you. I really liked talking to people and networking, and I thought that was a really good way to try and get my core skill sets out there. Yeah.
So really, you went into a people business just so you could get some beer money and keep your parents happy.
Indeed, and out of bed, because that was also a big issue.
So you were there for probably no more than about 6 months.
Yes.
What then happened then?
I then contacted the company that I got the job through, which was a recruitment company, and said, hey, you've known me before, I used to work for that company when I was growing up, so 14, 15, 16, silver service, bar work, etc. And said, look, can I have a go? They chucked the yellow pages at me on the phone and a 10 grand basic, and that was it.
So why did you go from being an agent to go to recruitment? What was your motivation?
I think I like the fact that there's people around me, and having used that recruitment company again, I like the experience. You're talking to different people, and actually you're helping them find a job. Because
what was different to the recruitment to the being an agency for 6 months or so?
So the estate agency was great, and that person that I work for is one of my biggest clients and still uses our services today. But it was lettings, and lettings just was too administrative for me.
You're a bit more of a salesy person.
Yeah. If you put me in sales, I'd probably stayed a bit longer. But from my point of view, it was.
You'd probably been running Countrywide by now.
But that'd be good.
And so you went into recruitment. Did you know at the time that was going to be the job for you for life, or was it just another one on the
I
estate?
think for the first year I was finding my feet, so the answer would be no. After a year, I then I sort of sharpened my kind of attitude, my experience, and my tools in my toolbox, and I loved it. And I lived and breathed it, and there's still now not a day that goes past that I'm not on the phone from 6 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. So
what do you actually enjoy about recruitment itself? Not now, but just generally.
Just helping an individual find a new job that they can go out and have a really.
Is that what motivates you?
It is, yeah. From my point of view, I've got
making a difference.
Making a difference, improving someone's life, and improving someone's business to achieve even more.
Is that what? I mean, what? Did you have any fears at this time, or was it just a case of this is brilliant, let's get on with it? What year was this? 2002?
This is early, 2002.
Oh, so things were going really well in the estate agency. So you must have been making loads of money and enjoying it.
It was good. Again, I was working for somebody else. I wasn't making loads of money. I was on a 10,000 basic, like most agents start with, and a bit of commission. So first year, probably no more than about 15k. I just really liked going home, out in my own hours, and speaking to people and seeing if I could better their careers.
What else did you get from the job apart from helping people and speaking to people?
So again, we're in like an estate agency, we're in a money business where commission is what it's all about. So of course I wanted to drive the fastest car that I could actually afford at 17, 18, and have the nicest watch on my wrist. But from my point of view, it was more about giving back and trying to find someone a job and trying to help someone rather than the.
Do you have any stories of people back in that first stage of your life where you helped someone and they've come back to you since and said, you've helped me change my life?
Yeah, I've got several candidates I can think of where I've actually changed them from a junior neg and they're now running a large business.
Don't mention names, but what sort of emotions did they express to you?
So you become more than just a recruiter to them. You become a friend. And I've created lots of friends due to this. Probably half of my phone book is people that are industry led. So they come back to you because you gave them that great service. But also you become very fond of them and you actually want to help them and the people around them. So referrals are still the best way of finding.
How does that make you feel when someone comes back to you?
It's brilliant. It's absolutely great. I love it. And again, speaking to that person, I tell everyone that they're my best friend for at least 3 weeks, and then they go off and they find their new home. But again, if that changes in the future, whether that's 3 months, 3 years, 30 years, I'd love it when they do come back. It's brilliant.
So you were doing quite well for yourself at this recruitment agency as an employee. What happened next?
So the two partners that I worked for actually fell out. I was the grand old age of 21 and I had a decision to make, which was to go and find another job for another recruiter or to actually buy it. So I managed to secure the business myself at the age of 21.
That needed some big kahunas, mate.
It did need some good kahunas, and lucky I've got some of them somewhere. And I purchased the business. It was really hard. I was 21 years old. I had two members of staff that I bought on from an existing company that we all worked for, and built it from there.
Okay, so you're now 21. You're running your own business. We're now in 2004, 5 around
Yep.
there. How did it go from there? So everything went swimmingly well?
It's really well. So we was running it from I think 2006. So
Yeah.
I ran it for 2 years, and then guess what? The biggest recession, or one of the biggest recession, hit us. As a first time buyer that I've just literally pulled out a mortgage and just given my last bit of savings for a business, it was scary times. I'm not going to say that there wasn't some baked beans shared on the couch most evenings for a couple of months, because there was. But it's kind of your attitude that I think that pushes you together to actually want to do it and push on.
Okay, so how did you get through that?
So I think it's a lot of...
Because there's a lot of agents out there that also went through those hard times.
It's hard. I think it's about getting the right attitude. I was a young guy, strong head on my shoulders, but I didn't know anything. I still don't know now. I never stop learning. But it's actually just making sure you're doing a really good job and the money would follow. And that was something that one of my previous boss, my first boss, told me, and I've always had that mentality. It's really helped me do a really good job, and the money will come.
Okay, so what then happened after that? Did things come back to normal?
No, and the industry I don't think has ever recovered since the 2007-2008 crash. I still had more jobs in the recession than candidates. That's never changed.
Really?
So we've always had more.
Well,
more.
even in the crash, there was more jobs than candidates.
Correct, because people got rid of the people they weren't unsure about, or steady eddies as they like to call them, and they were looking for people that are superstars to replace them. And again, the people that left the industry have gone on to do other things, so there was always more jobs than people.
So it's my understanding then that your job kind of morphed into working for one of the large corporates. We won't mention their name.
Yep.
Because they were your biggest client.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you do that?
So a range of things. I have a growing family, so I have my baby daughter Ruby, and again I had a double-edged sword, which was come and work for us or lose 85% of your business. So bit of pressure from Mrs. Rayner, and I decided to take the job as an internal recruiter, which was really good actually, to see what it's like on the other side of recruitment.
Yeah, and what did you learn from that?
I learned quite a few things. That it's all about process, and if you don't follow the proper process to get the right people, then it's not going to work. I also think the way you pay people, and we had people who worked in that business, was totally different to external recruiter, and I found it really hard getting people just to work for one brand. People like choice. If a candidate comes to me and says, "Josh, find the best job," they don't just want me to put a round peg into a square hole. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. So, but then after 6 months, you left there, didn't you?
I did. I think
that was brave.
It was brave. Some might say stupid, but from my point of view, I always wanted to be my own boss. I found it really hard to...
That must have been a really hard decision to make.
It was. I was paid a good salary to go and do the job at the time. It just wasn't right for me as an individual. But
what did you learn from that?
I found that actually you can build...
Because you must have been at rock bottom to do that.
Yeah. So you literally got no salary coming in. How are you going to pay that mortgage at the end of the month? Luckily I had some savings behind me, but it's about just attitude, I think, and just self-belief. I just knew I could put my computer on and off I went again, and that's what I did.
So what did you do? It was basically clear the desks, no salary coming in, started up your new firm, and off you went.
Yeah, so I set up Rayner Recruitment in the back of my bedroom. That's how the business started, with a phone. I then took somebody else on 3 months later when we was turning some money, then moved the premises 3 months after that, and then built it. So it was really hard times. It wasn't, I went into a really plush luxury office from day one.
So, okay, so what did you learn by restarting again this time that you didn't learn last time, and more importantly, with what you learned, how that has helped clients in the...
I think I was getting it massively wrong. I think I probably had the same impression that agents think we are, that we was doing. So that was put a job on a job board and we wait for some really big fish to swim into your net. It doesn't work.
Okay.
So again, I think my kind of mindset about attracting good people was wrong.
So do you think therefore that let's be honest, putting it all on the line helped you?
Definitely. Yeah, I think it made a man of me, definitely. And it's one way I could go, which was to be successful. I wasn't prepared for it not to work, and I couldn't definitely afford it.
Okay, so since you've done that, how long has Rayner Personnel been going now?
Rayner Personnel was formed in August 2012. We actually started business in Jan 13. We franchised the business out in 2016. And again, we're now the largest in regards to headcount in the country with a national spread of franchisees.
Okay, so what are you doing now for the future to help you and, more importantly, customers?
So,
estate agents?
yeah, exactly. So our business is built around good people. So the people in our business, the franchisees, are amazing. They're all ex-estate agents. They're all passionate people.
Have you still got the buzz for the job?
Love the buzz for the job. I actually do miss...
What is the best bit of the job?
Best bit, I think, is actually putting the right person into a role, whether that helps a candidate or helps a client. Either way.
Do you get the same buzz today as you did when you were?
I could do a deal for £1 or a deal for 10 grand. It doesn't really matter. I just love doing it.
You sound a bit like a good estate agent. You know, when you get the deal and the.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like camaraderie in the office. It's a ding, ding, ding. We've done a deal. It doesn't matter if it, like I say, it's a low fee or a high fee. It's just about helping that individual or helping that client, whatever way it is, to solve a problem.
And moving forward, where do you see the firm going?
So our business, like I said, is built around good people, and it's about training them, spending time with them, telling them all the mistakes I made, and making sure they don't make the same ones. So it's all about building that out and getting better people, like estate agents, into my business to make it a long-term business that's going to.
And what made you want to go down the franchising route?
So franchising, I stumbled across it actually. We actually haven't advertised one of the franchises. They've all been ex-candidates. I placed somebody in the job and they said, Josh, I'm not going to take the job. At the time, it was worth about £20,000 fee, and I was like, oh my God, no. And he said, I want to work with you. And it literally, I fell upon franchising. It wasn't that I was...
So he created the job for himself then?
Correct.
And what does that add, what does that give the people out there? I'm assuming greater coverage, because let's be honest, it can't all come through you, can it?
No, it can't all come through me. A business, in my opinion, is all about people. You get somebody who's local, that's knowledgeable, that knows their market, knows what good candidates and bad candidates are, and what fits can be right for your business. It also allows me to get national coverage very, very quickly and get the brand out there. So now I'm building a brand, and I'm in the people's business. I'm not a recruiter, I'm in the people's business about getting good people on and bringing them through the ranks to make sure they can run their own business.
And where do you see Rayner Personnel in 5 years' time?
Rayner Personnel in 5 years' time will have different disciplines to it. So we're looking at financial services, rec to rec, construction, different kinds of services, and again, franchising them out. I want to build a group of recruitment companies. I love property, and that's where I started, and that's where I will continue to build. But from my point of view, my long-term growth as a business owner is into different sub-sectors.
So it's not about the money?
No, but then I'll be
Helps.
saying, pardon?
Does help though, doesn't it?
It does help, and I'll be lying to say it's not. I'm not just doing this for cash, but from my point of view, the way my business is set up is not for today. It's all about an exit in 15 years' time. So from my point of view, that's where I'm going. I take a basic salary and that's it. I'm not here to say that money, it is not all about money. It is, but there's a lot more things involved in it. I think when you get older as well, when again I'm only 31, so some people who've seen this video might laugh. It's actually it changes. You can have X amount of cars, you can have X amount of holidays, but it gets boring. And you can only, from my point of view, I want to make sure I'm grounding as well. So it's about building a big business for me.
Well done, mate. Cheers.
Excellent. Cheers.